So here we are at problem 1120 on page 182 of your textbook. We know that JCPenney department store segments the markets for women's apparel by its identification of values. So they ask questionnaires about personal and family values, and they're used to segment the women's apparel market. And there's 1 for conservative, 2 for traditional, and 3 for contemporary. So what they did is they went out and sampled 1,836 women. So that goes in the N, the 1,836 there. And now the goal is that, again, the conservative was 1 in the coding, 2 was traditional, and 3 was contemporary. And we want to estimate the portion of adult women, American women, who are classified as traditional, which is coded as number 2 over there in the segment in column A. So the way we would do that is we're going to use the COUNTIF function. So equal COUNTIF, and it says counts the number of cells within a range that meet the given condition. So the range would be starting in A2, and it's going to go all the way down to A 1,837. And then the criteria to meet is, in order to be traditional, it needs to be code 2, close parenthesis, click the check, and that indicates 536. So the p-hat, or the proportion there of traditional women out of the total sample, is simply just taking the traditional women, the 536, divided by the 1836, and again enter, and that gives us 29.2919. And now it revealed in there that in the question we want to use a 95% confidence level. So because we want to use the 95% confidence interval estimate, 1 minus the alpha is equal to 95. So that alpha, therefore, is equal to 0.05, and we're going to divide the alpha by 2, so it's equal to 0.025, and then we're going to take that 1 minus 0.025 to give us the z-score of 0.9750. So we did all that with the confidence interval, because up here in the formula it's p-hat plus or minus z with alpha divided by 2, taking the square root of p-hat times 1 minus p-hat divided by n. So let's go look at the chart on 310. I've got it up here in a PDF file. Again, we're looking for this 9750. So we go over here and it's 1.9 for the row and 0.06 up here. So 1.96. So that document's there. I'm going to just type in the 196, and I'll get rid of those because I'll show you how this works in just a second. So to calculate the lower confidence level, we'll begin with that. We're going to go equal to p-hat minus z times the square root of p-hat times 1 minus p-hat again, which is that h10, divided by n, which is the 1836, and we hit enter. Oh, it didn't like that formula, but it still managed to come through, so I probably just put too many parentheses in and it automatically corrected for it. But it gives us 0.2711, which is correct. And I had previously done this, so you can see that it has more decimals there than that. I'm just going to restate that right there in case you're checking the answer with what's in the back of the book. It makes it a little nicer and easier to follow. And now I want to calculate the upper confidence level, which again is equal to p hat plus the z for the alpha by 2 times the square root of, and here we go again, p hat, which is h10, that 0.2919, and that's multiplied by 1 minus p hat, which is divided by n, the 1,836. Click check. Again, it didn't like it for some reason, but it still calculated it fine. So anyway, you can see it up here. H10 is the p hat plus H17, which is the z times the square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat divided by n. And again, if I just show you this, I've got more decimal places showing there. I mean, more decimal places than I'm showing, so I'm just going to retype the number right there just to use that for calculating. So I'm restating the upper confidence level without rounding it, so that's all that's there. Just going to scroll down a little bit. For part B, it says estimate the size of the traditional market segment. And up in the problem, it says the latest census reveals that there are 116,878,000 adult women in the United States, according to the Statistical Abstract of the United States. So, to get this calculation right, we're simply going to go equal the number of women times the lower confidence level, and that's going to give us 31,685,626. So that's the lower confidence level of the traditional. And for the upper confidence level, we're again going to take the total number of adult women in the U.S. and multiply it by the upper confidence level proportion, again the p hat, but for the upper level, I mean what we've calculated there, and there we get 37. Let me do that one again. Oh, I have a typo in there when I retyped it. It should be 0.3127. That's the danger of retyping it. You sometimes transpose numbers. So 36,547,751. So that's again how you can use a confidence interval estimator of P, and you will be using that technique in solving one of the problems problems here. I can't find it right here, but the technique will be helpful to you. Alright, that's it for this one.